What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me is always my buddy, my coach, my pal, the man who's across the pond, internationally known all over this place. The man goes anywhere he wants, whether it's Budapest, Greece, Portugal, now London. He's over in the UK. This man's everywhere. He's Mr. Worldwide himself. If we're the Knicks right now, we got to talk about Worldwide West. Got to get out of here. We got Worldwide John over here. All right, my man, the one and only John Meleka. How you doing today, bro?
Oh, I'm good, man. I am good. It's been a hell of a day, hell of a weekend. I mean, I had such a good time in London. This obviously is the sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
The actual game, the reason why I went, but man, I can't speak enough about how awesome the atmosphere was at today's game. It legit felt like the Super Bowl, like 60,000 people, like all neutral, basically. You know what I mean? For the most part, even though the Jets fans were actually kind of loud, they were booing. Kind of. I want to know what happened to TV. I had like a bunch of Atlanta, some family, some family members around me, so they were cheering a bunch. But I mean, it was a really cool experience. I've never, all these NFL games I've been to, I have never experienced an NFL game like the London game, which is pretty cool. And it was a Jets game too. You know what I mean? Like I'm expecting some sort of normalcy. I mean, the first half was pretty normal. Alex, I'll give you that much. I was waking up at 9 a.m., man. How was a normal Sunday that that was the one thing I was really envious of. Like that 9 a.m. wake up of football plus it's the Jets. It's tough, but the 0-17 like at 10 a.m. must be tough coffee.
Oh man. Let's see. My morning, I was like, all right. So I started watching Dominique and I started watching Squid Games last night. Then I was like, wait, I gotta go to sleep. It's after midnight. I gotta wake up for this 9 o'clock game. I gotta be ready to go, be able to tweet, live tweet, do all that stuff, give my takes, get ready to podcast because I don't know when my co-host is gonna be ready to go. I gotta try to get ready for him, trying to figure out time schedules and stuff. But it was, I can tell you that was
it's
good.
1 a.m. right now.
I can tell. That's wild. That is a wild time difference. But I'll say that having coffee, before getting into like the packed day, it was like, this is pretty nice. Get it out of the way up and early. I got, my fiance likes to stay in bed a little bit, just like sleep in on the weekend. So I'm like, I get legit me time with this cup of coffee, and I'm watching the game. And
your beloved New York Jets.
And my beloved New York Jets decide to dampen my Sunday morning, they're saying you're lucky.
Oh, what happened?
You're lucky. This is a long weekend.
What happened?
What
happened in that first half?
Dude,
happened?
3 and outs and then an interception. Man, it was rough. I don't know about you, man. I want to know from your perspective though, because it's like rough watching it at like 9 a.m., but it's not as rough being there, spending the tickets, going there, being at a neutral site, representing Jets Nation. Yeah. Like I'm in the comfort of my own home. All I got to look at is my cats and my fiance. Be like, yo, don't look at me right now. I'm not feeling it right now.
It's all good. Just change the channel. I feel you. Here's the thing. Like I don't really care about, like, that's the number one. Like my phone's obviously blowing up right at halftime, and nothing about the game. Just like people like shooting jokes at me, which I get, right? Oh, you go to London to watch the Jets. 17-0. I can't believe you spent that money. Like, honestly, like that stuff doesn't bother me. Like, it doesn't bother me that I spent the money to go to this game and like we're losing. Like, obviously, like one of the teams has to lose, but and most likely it's going to be the Jets. Like, we were talking about how we were excited about the last win 2 years ago. Like, I have to be an idiot to not realize it's very possible that the Jets are going to lose this game. We're 1-3 versus a 1-3 team. Like, it all makes sense, right? But the way it happened, right? So from my perspective, obviously that roughing the passer was not a roughing the passer, bro. Every time I go to a game, the first drive, something is gonna happen.
That was. You want to talk about how my morning started? I slowly have gotten over this. I am now triggered again. If that is the biggest bullshit roughing the passer call I've ever seen in my life.
Unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
It was, dude, CJ, it was the cleanest hit possible. It was legit the cleanest hit possible. And they're like, oh, roughing the passer because he was putting his body on the quarterback and making
Is that what
like,
they said? Is that what they're
that is what they said.
I couldn't figure it out. I legit,
dude, that
I was
is,
like,
they,
I haven't
they
watched anything.
legit said he put all of his weight on the quarterback's body. I'm just like, oh, the mental gymnastics for this one. I was so upset. I was like, the mental gymnastics.
Yeah, that is a rule. That is a rule. Yeah. That's
to say,
funny. I didn't know
say,
because I thought it was like maybe the crown of the helmet because I couldn't like I'm sitting there.
Dude, the cleanest hit possible. The rationale was because CJ Mosley put his entire body weight onto Matt Ryan when he tackled him. I'm sorry, NFL. I'm going to use one of the F words right now. Go fuck yourself because this is bullshit. This is absolutely bullshit. That is roughing the passer. I don't know how you can. That is textbook perfect tackling at that point. Like you can't get any better than that. Like he does everything you want. Throw like head on the side of the ball, take him, carry him, putting him to the ground. At what point is this actually a contact sport and just not don't hurt the quarterback? Look, if you don't want to play football, like football's a choice. Like
I don't think Matt Ryan was mad about that. I don't think Matt Ryan was even mad about that. A couple of times, the other roughing too, he like tapped our player on the back, like, no, dude, I know it wasn't a call. You know, I know you're fine, but what do we do?
My thing is this. Honestly, there's a few instances throughout this game where the tides turned for the New York Jets. That was the first one. And that was the one that I really hated because the Jets had them out. They were about to be done. It was third down, third and long, out, off the field. Offense get to come in. And then what happens? You're telling me that's roughing the passer. This is not once, twice. You had the one against the Patriots that should have been a fumble, and now
that's
this.
What I'm saying. How many times?
And now this.
First drive.
That's what's so aggravating, bro. Because you're watching this. You're like what could he do? Like he was clean. Like he had a clean lane to the quarterback. Like what do you want him to do? What no, let me just swing you around and then drag you down. The whole point is to have the quarterback not throw the ball, and yet the one time he gets a clean hit on a quarterback, it's like, whoa, hey, roughing the passer, bud.
That was really tough to get over, man. Like for the team, that's tough to get over. So I understand, why they gave up points. No problem. Coming back, right? We had another 3 and out. Atlanta gets the ball back, right? If I'm not mistaken, and then they score again. So now it's already a 2-possession game. We get the ball back. That was the most pivotal drive for us. And we didn't score, obviously, right? We have 0 points throughout the whole thing. But that was such a pivotal drive. And the only thing I did listen to or have anything to do with the Jets or football, let's say with the Jets because I watched Red Zone after, but with the Jets specifically is Zach Wilson talking about how ridiculous or how frustrating these first halves are. What's happening? He's like, obviously that's not our team because we're getting it together in the second half. You know what I mean? So obviously we know how to play football. He was insinuating that. And at the same time, he's like, obviously it is us because every first half is the same. What's going on? We can't start off like this. I don't know the exact right wordplay, but it's like, when you make one mistake and you just keep making mistakes. That's what happens with the Jets. They just keep trying to do these. Okay. Even the completion to the corner, in the second half, I know I'm skipping for a second, but even that was behind. You know what I mean? Did Zach Wilson look really bad today, or was it just me?
No, it's not you. He looked bad today.
Zach Wilson, even completions were behind.
Yes, no, his passes were off.
That's today. What I'm saying.
Yeah. No. His passing was a second too late. I like watching Zach today. There was a multitude of things. More so on Zach. If you had to put the blame on anyone today, I was tweeting out, I would like Ford to go back to what he did last week. I think they were being a little too aggressive, and even Robert Saleh came out saying, they started off being aggressive, but they couldn't be that aggressive trying to push the ball down the field. And Zach Wilson did a lot of checkdowns because they had two high safeties, right? So with the two high safeties, Zach Wilson's not able to push the ball downfield as he's capable of. And interesting enough, like today, where a PFF article came up prior to when the Jets drafted Zach Wilson, and they showed like the chart of like where he likes to throw, and over the middle of the field, like short middle of the field, is like actually not his strong suit. Like that's why, like if you look at his college
because he
numbers,
runs out, bro. He was always running.
Always running out. He always had the cleanest pocket. And if you remember like what he would do, he'd always throw it deep on these poed fade routes. And that's what he's so comfortable with. But if you ever watched him at BYU, he rarely, close to never threw it over the middle, like the 10, 15 yards that the play calling is now for him, which is why he's getting all these interceptions. And that's usually where interceptions happen to begin with. That's where that's where the minefield is. That's where everyone's waiting to just pick you off, is those short, those intermediate routes, right? The 10, 15 yards. And it was showing today that he's not really comfortable with that. By the way, he's throwing behind, whether it's Corey Davis, that's why he looked comfortable throwing to Keelan Cole on that out route. Like that's why he looked comfortable throwing deep to Elijah Moore, and it was a pass interference, because those are the things he's comfortable doing. Yeah, those are nice stuff. That was nice stuff from him, but it's more than just doing that as a quarterback. You have to have that well-rounded game. But he wasn't on today, and I will say that Michael Ford's play calling wasn't as much as in suspect as it was, I think, at the beginning of the game, because then he did correct himself. But then Zach Wilson wasn't able to complete the easy passes, like that bubble screen. Like you cannot mess up a bubble screen to Jamison Crowder like that. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown, bro. That's a touchdown. You can't have that. You can't have that.
That was right in front of my face.
So you were on that side of the field. Oh goodness.
So, yeah. Dude, because Kyle Pitts caught all his touchdowns right in front of me. I know. I don't care that I called it. I don't care. I don't want to be right. I knew he was going to score against us. I told you to take the prop. I am not happy about any of it. Okay. God, I know we were so happy about, the Williams bros, but we need real linebackers, man. We need real coverage linebackers. We have no safeties. Bryce Hall played well.
Tight end just killed us. I mean, also, why was John Franklin Meyer covering Kyle Pitts?
I thought was that Huff too? Huff was in coverage as well too, and I think that's kudos to the Falcons. Like, I think the Falcons schemed that up. Like, I don't think that Huff was supposed to be guarding whoever it was that scored on that play. Was it Patterson?
No.
Whoever scored? Was it Davis? I don't remember.
For Pitts, it was it was John Franklin Meyer.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah. I think there was one play where it was Huff, but again, it was so much happened.
Honestly, Kyle Pitts, like, he shut me up last week. I was not impressed with Kyle Pitts, like, over the first couple of weeks. He put on a clinic today.
Bro, he looks different, honestly. He really does look like Calvin Johnson. Like, he does. He just looks like
he's big. He's big. He's a big boy. He had over 100 receiving yards. He had the TD today. Dude balled out.
He has cool pads under his like pads. He's got the Wakanda. Like this, nice. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, man. It was rough, because you think, and Cordell Patterson, man, Jesus, like, that was rough. That's honestly.
Was he rough? Because like we knew the quarterback. Like, what did he do? Really, he just got some first downs off the third down.
The third down, dude. It's the third. It's the stuff. I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around. Like I said, I think most of it goes to Zach Wilson. But let's just get into this. Let's go through the offense, defense, and special teams today. So offense, we already started it. It was Zach Wilson. You mentioned it earlier, saying that he was throwing behind the wide receivers, which he was, and then we saw some good passes today. It was a mixed bag. He looked like a rookie today, man. Like, starting off with him, I did not like it. Yeah. You need him to just come out and just be who he is. And this is where I'm saying, like, Ford changed it, but you can't come out being aggressive and say, like, I guess that's kudos to him for seeing the adjustment, saying, oh, whoa. They're playing really high. Like, they're playing two high safeties. We got to figure out what we got to do. And I think what he should have gone to is the run game, because it started to work in the second half. And Michael Carter was starting to bully people up and down the field, even with the help of Ty Johnson too. So that's where I think they should have. Michael Carter, dude, your man who you took a photo with.
Dude, Michael Carter and Alijah Vera-Tucker are the coolest dudes on this team. 100, like hands down, the two coolest dudes on this team. Shout out to Morstead. Is he from England? I didn't look it up, but is he English? Because a bunch of his family was there. I don't know if not, but they were like really emotional. So that was really cool watching Morstead with his family. Alijah Vera-Tucker and Michael Carter just literally hung out with. I mean, Alijah Vera-Tucker's family was there, and they're just hanging out. Like they were just chilling with us. Like no problem. Everybody's just chilling after the game. Like it was obviously like the players are going from the stadium, to wherever they need to go, and they just like walk by us and they hanging out. They sign, I don't know if I'm allowed to say they signed stuff, so I won't. But we took some pictures. Like we're just talking like normal, you know what I mean? Like asking what they're getting on in the bye week. It's like, nah, I just need to chill, man. Like, just like normal people. Like I ran into Alijah Vera-Tucker's parents at the Dishoom restaurant, like really far away from the stadium. Like I guess like both of our hotels were there. I was like, oh, what up, guys?
So when are they coming on the podcast, John?
Oh, ABT, what up, man? I know you're here now. And we know that Michael Carter reads the Jet Press. Like it's really cool that we're so close to the team, but the team is tough right now, man. I really like these rookies, right? Like I really like ABT. I really like I can't believe they're the coolest dudes under the rookies, right? Obviously, also the rookies. That's probably why they're talking to us and not like the vets. Like CJ Mosley wanted nothing to do with us. Just like yeah, whatever. Denzel Mims came to hang out for a second. But anyway, I mean, I still think that they have the tools. Let me ask you a question because I really couldn't see or I don't remember. How was the offensive line? Like Carter was killing it.
Offensive line was actually on point today. They were on point today. Yeah, I mean,
that's what I thought too.
They were on point. They didn't.
Jared didn't do anything on us besides at the end. But situationally, I think we were like I don't really think we're maybe like twice or three times. Okay, now I'm starting to get some flashbacks of Moses letting some guys through, like on the right. There's some right because like I remember him playing some Matrix a couple times and completing some throws. All right, so he was under some pressure from the right side. I like now vividly remembering that.
No, but the offensive line played pretty well today.
I just wish we really took advantage of the nickel being injured, man. Avery Williams didn't even play. The backup didn't even play. Like, what's the problem? The backup rookie didn't play. Like, we can't find. We have three slot receivers. We have Jameson Crowder, Braxton Berrios, and Elijah Moore. I don't care what anyone says. We have three slot receivers. None of them could do anything. I know, like, Crowder had like 75 yards. Moore didn't do anything. Like Mims played well.
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't Berrios in the game? Like this was a Berrios type of game. He was going off in the pregame too. Like he was like throwing balls, tippy toe. Like what happened? Why wasn't he part of the game plan? Like that stuff bothers me so much. Like we do good things from week to week, but it's never the same good things. You know what I mean? I just feel like if we just combine the good things from this week and last week, we'd be like an unbelievable team.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? That's the ups and downs of having a rookie quarterback. But I want to add on to your point. So Morstead's actually from Texas. I don't know what the thing. He's
whatever.
Born
and
raised
anyway,
in Houston.
His family was cool. I just thought they were all English.
But like to go back then, like offensive line, like I know I already said it like twice, but the offensive line was playing well. Zach Wilson only got sacked twice today. He had a lot of time to get a lot of things going. I think for Zach, he was clearly in his own head, and we can just go by play, like by quarter, right? Even down to the fourth quarter when you're in the 2-minute drill, he was holding on the ball for like way too long. And just like there was just one possession where he took off 15, 20 seconds off the clock, just looking for someone down the field where it's like, dude, just throw it away. Like you're not doing anything. You're trying to come back in this game. Like we're like, yes, it's out of reach. It's close to out of reach at this point, but you're making even more by taking 15 to 20 seconds off the clock. You can't do this. So for him,
I think he has rookies everywhere, bro. His head coach is a rookie. His coordinator's a rookie.
Yep.
Like you said, he has he has no backup quarterback veteran. Like where is he going to learn? Like who is going to tell him? Like literally who? CJ Mosley? Like you know what I'm trying to say? Like not even on the offense. He has Jameson Crowder. Jameson Crowder's supposed to go up and tell him. Like that's really
that's actually kind of funny to think about that.
What are you gonna do? Like, you have to start thinking like logically, right? You have like, who is going to go up to Zach Wilson and tell him, yo, what you're doing here, this is how you fix it? Who? So if it's our offensive coordinator, that's great, but he's also a rookie. He's like worried about, a lot of other things like play calling and getting his players involved and how he's gonna, account for his terrible offensive line on the right side sometimes and whatnot. But, shout out. You know what else I called? I was gonna say shout out to the special team. You know what else I called? That Colquitt stinks, but we couldn't capitalize. That's what bothers me. I knew exactly what was gonna happen in this game. We just could not capitalize. Like, how do we not score off that Colquitt muff? Like, what happened in that muff? Like, all of a sudden he has the ball, like he kicks the ball, and then the ball just died in the air. It literally just died. And how do we not capitalize? We were in positive field goal, positive field possession for a while. And man, we always say, right, that time of possession usually dictates the game. Turnovers usually dictate the game. We had everything, bro. We were making them fumble. We had time of possession. We could run the ball in the second half. Like, how many times did we make them fumble?
Twice, man. One by Quincy Williams and one by CJ Mosley. CJ Mosley was the first and Quincy Williams was the second. But
yeah, but those were that we got. But we made them fumble like two more times that we just couldn't get. One of them one of them went out of bounds. Another one they picked up. Like, come on, dude. The defense is doing everything they possibly can, besides guarding Kyle Pitts, which is annoying because he's literally their only offensive player. Like, their only offensive players all killed us. Like, that's my one sticking point with the defense. Like, I love the defense, but how are the only three guys that they have on the team all going to kill you? And their names are Mike Davis, Cordarrelle Patterson, and the rookie Kyle Pitts. Like, all three of those guys are going to all kill you, and that was the only three things you guys had the game plan for. So what'd you do? Like, what did you game plan for? That's where I'm allowed to be frustrated. Like, I understand it's a rookie team. I understand we don't have the pieces. I understand we're not expected to win double-digit games. Like, I get all of that. But, like, where's the growth? Like, on this defense? Like, what are we supposed to do? Because if we're not setting a game plan to guard the only three guys that are on the team, how can I trust that we can win any game like this? Like, that's what bothers me.
No, like it's true. So if like we're getting into defense before, like we drew, like I know you started defense, 5 quarterback hits that the Falcons got on Zach Wilson today. 5. It's not bad. It's not bad.
And two of them were at the end.
Yeah, and 2 sacks. So like,
that's what I'm saying.
The O-line played well today. He had the time, like, and they were making the holes. Like, to cap it off, look. Today, Michael Carter, who was running really well today. Michael Carter had 38 yards, was averaging close to 4 yards attempt, had 1 touchdown. You had Ty Johnson, only 4 attempts for 12 yards. We only ran the ball 18 times. Like, 18 times. That's infuriating. Like,
okay, but
honestly,
wait,
it's kind of infuriating.
But in that drive I was telling you about when I was like, we need to finally score here, what we didn't was like when we just got down 2 possessions and we needed to cut it down. I looked at the one really cool thing about London, or I'm not sure if it's London or Tottenham Stadium in general, because it's ridiculous. This $1 billion, 60,000 plus stadium is insane. They have like all the stats everywhere at all times. Not like one big jumble. Like, no, like just like around, just like it'll just say like, time of possession. I know we had that, but it'll say like pass attempts and how many you threw and all this like random stuff at all times. And I noticed that we'd only thrown once. In like the first, drive or two, and I was like, "What's happening?"
I mean, they were pretty generic, like 3 and outs. We didn't do anything like spectacular, like.
But why? Why, Alex? That's what I need to know.
Dude, if
it's
I was
Atlanta Falcons, you know how hard I was screaming, "This is the Atlanta Falcons." Like, I'm sure the Feel It podcast is gonna have a ball with that. I was screaming, "This is the." When this was halftime, the Atlanta Falcons, I was on the Atlanta Falcons sideline, unfortunately. I didn't know that was going to happen. It was just luck. I'm screaming at them. But at halftime, the guys are laughing at me. I don't know if they're like, I think they're England because they're English because they were like hyped about like towels and stuff. So like the English like Atlanta representatives, they were dying laughing. I'm like, because like come down, I'm like, Look, this is the Atlanta Falcons. Like, if anyone's gonna lose a 17-0 lead, like here we are. Like they gave up a 21-0 lead in London to the Lions, lost 22-21. You know what I'm saying? Like they can do it. Like we, like no problem.
28-3,
So,
bro. 28-3.
I was 28. Like I was ready. I was so ready. And oh my goodness, Alex, on the
You were
last
close.
drive, when we listen to this, man. I even took a picture, but like now it's just like in my phone forever, and I can never use it what I want to use it for. Right before that drive, when the Jets are going, guess who shows up right in front of my face, taking a nice little stroll? Arthur Blank. I'm like, oh my God, the omen. It's over. When Arthur Blank shows up on the field, like the Atlanta Falcons lose the lead. Like, this is it. Like, I'm ready. I had the picture ready. Like, I was ready to go. And then they lost it. I mean,
oh man,
he's nice little
rough.
cute old man. I'm happy for him, but man,
That's
was
rough.
really tough.
That's
yeah,
rough.
I was ready. I was ready for it to go. And that sense of urgency in the fourth, like how many delay of games, the play clock, like what's going on?
The refs are bonkers, bro. I have no idea what's going on over here. The fix is in.
We had 15
the fix is in.
Play clock.
The fix is in. The fix is in for the New York Jets. It's real. Well, let's get back into the defense because I cut you off and
yeah.
I went back straight to the offense. But like, the defense today, like how you can only ask these guys to bend and not break for so long, man. They're legit been holding us in games, and they still even held us into this game, even though it was 20-27. The score looks a lot closer than it actually felt. Like I don't know. To me, at home it did. I don't know. I mean, I guess you're in the environment.
The first half felt like it was 100-0. The second half felt like the Jets were actually making a move, and it looked like Atlanta was just trying to stop this flood. The time was against us the entire second half, in my opinion, or at least the fourth quarter. Or no, actually the beginning of the second half. As soon as the second half started, the clock was against us. Like all Atlanta wanted to do was run out the clock and punt it. By the way, Atlanta didn't punt in the first half. Literally not one punt. The Atlanta Falcons did not punt in the first half. What are we talking about, man? Dude, and why can't we hit an extra point?
Dude, this is what I'm saying. Like momentum.
By the way, Ammendola, breaking news, was limping on the way out. He was limping.
Oh, great.
He was. Something is wrong. Right. We have a week off. Breaking news. I'm telling you, I saw with my eyes. Oklahoma State bag. I don't care. It's him.
That's great. Limping. This is great. That's
so just. He's probably hurt. Honestly.
That's just
probably why he's missing that. But what was the last kick? What was it? Did he have? What was Young Ho's kick? I don't know how you say his name.
That was like a 55.
Mr. Koo. Mr. Koo.
Yeah, it was like a 55-yarder field goal. You're talking about the one right before the end of the half.
Yeah. The end of the half.
Before the end of the half.
57.
It was a 52-yard field goal.
Dude, that was far.
Yeah,
he nailed that.
Yeah, he made it look easy, like absolutely easy. Like that right down with still more yards to go. That was insane. But no, this defense, dude, like
shout out to the Falcons, man. They really put it together everywhere.
They did what they needed to do. They know we're weak against the tight ends. We, in all honesty, we haven't, like, even though we played Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Thank you. Hunter Henry, probably the best tight end duo we had to face. Maybe you could talk about Font on the Broncos. We haven't really faced like true tight ends. Kyle Pitts came out today and was like
the Darnold to Arnold connection, and they traded him right after us.
Anyway, no, it was like, please don't bring that team up right now. I don't need to hear this right now. Today was just rough, man. Like watching Kyle Pitts just run over our defense. He had Cordell Patterson. They didn't have their top two wide receivers, and yet we allowed them to go like ham today.
That's the thing, bro.
That's what bothers me the most. We have Zuniga out there just like getting crucial third downs for third and like long for first down. The 3rd and 17. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here?
Zacchaeus. Zuniga's our guy that we cut.
Like that's the rough part. That's the rough part. Dude, this is the rough part because we're like, oh, the cornerbacks are actually not that bad. Look at that. And then they let this guy, like, no shade to Zuniga, but like literally, like, it's not like we're not talking about any of the wide receivers.
Good plays though. Like Bryce Hall, especially Bryce Hall. He had that one was right in front of me too. That one deflection, he got his hand in. That was early. I don't know, can't remember when. I got to rewatch this game. I'm back in America. Yeah.
It's not as bad as like watching when they play the Patriots. It's not as bad when you watch them against the Broncos. The good thing is that we were able to put up 20 points, both rushing wise, but at least we were able to move the ball. And this is the stuff that I was saying for the Titans. It's funny how the roles reversed, where you called the Titans win, and I was thinking, let's look for Falcons. Like, that's the time to do it. And it was the reverse way. And the things I was saying for the Titans actually happened in this game that we need. It's like, well, you want to see some drives. You want to see like a field goal, a touchdown, maybe another touchdown, see that you're actually working. And they did that. Like they had that. This is just truly a young team that has yet to gel, that has yet to stop. I do not need to hear that right now. That is yet to gel. That has yet to gel. This team just hasn't fully gelled. And like, I feel bad for the defense because it's like every single week, like, unfortunately, this was the one week like we actually needed them to like win. And the worst part is that it was the last Falcons drive, right? The last drive. That's when we had a shot, man. We legit had a shot. Like we
had a pick six also. Well, who dropped that?
Oh man. Dude, there's a lot of interceptions. We had 3 interceptions today. We could have had 3.
There was a.
Yeah, it was. I know what you're talking about.
I forgot what it was. I forgot.
It was a screen pass. It was a screen pass that Matt Ryan did. It was like that was a pick 6 waiting to go.
Bro, it was 6 to the house. I forgot who it was.
That would have won it.
It's slipping my mind right now. I'm sorry, but I'll find it and I'll write about it in next week's Jet Press. Oh man,
it was infuriating. It's infuriating because these are the small things that you need to help win. You know, and I was thinking today, like, when are we gonna get some turnovers today before this game? Like, when are we gonna get some like actual turnovers? We got 2. We got some turnovers, and we didn't capitalize. We didn't capitalize on the second fumble, which is big issue. Second one was that we let the defense let them go all the way downfield and march right in for a touchdown. It was just, you can't have that. Like, you cannot have that. But at the same time, you can only ask your defense to bend and not break for so long. And for 5 straight weeks, they've done that. And the offense, when you look at the time of possession, allowed this defense to break. I mean, you can't have the Atlanta Falcons coming out here with 35 minutes, 54 seconds of time of possession to the Jets 24 and 6 seconds. That's huge. That, like, the Falcons legit had it for most of the game. They were marching up and down the field for time after time after time. They were getting like 6 to 9 plays every single time, making the defense work, eating up the clock. And the Jets just, when you have 2 3 and outs in the first quarter, that's just, you're setting your defense off to like a bad start. You can't have them out there. It was a crazy number 2. It was something wild where it was like Jets been on the field for like 2-3 minutes. The defense has been out there for like 15. You're like, what are we doing here?
That's the story of their lives, bro. That's why I'm not even mad at TJ Mosley for not wanting to come say hello or whoever. Like, I didn't know why he's pissed. He's pissed though. Yeah, like, he's like, dude, I've been working all day and another L. Like, it's tough. Like, you think I'm mad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's even more tired than me and more upset about this game, which I kind of like. But
yeah, I mean, look,
I guess what's really upsetting me is that the special teams, like, really upsetting me that Michael Carter had such a great game. I think that's what's upsetting me. He had such a phenomenal game.
He did.
And you have to win those types of games. Like, you have to win a game where you're getting returns like that. You have to win a game where you're getting running back breaks like that, where you're getting these out route, which should be dump offs that turn into first downs. Like, those plays should turn into wins, like turn into legitimate wins, and they're just not. And that's what's so frustrating. Like I said in the beginning, it's like every single week we have a different issue. Like, our offensive line is fine, now we have the tight ends again, back to square one from last year. You know what I mean? Which we don't have any coverage linebackers. It makes perfect sense, right? Where's Hamza, bro? Where is he? I see his number.
MIA.
Where is he?
Forget the milk carton.
Like, where are these guys?
Dude, like I said, you can only
ask. Tough being a linebacker, man. It's tough.
Dude,
I get it, but we just don't have one.
You can only ask so much. I mean, they're doing a good job for all the injuries that we have, but It's frustrating,
I
man. I
know.
think
It's okay.
it's like,
It's
and I
okay.
can't even,
I just
I can't
wonder.
even put it on the defense for like the last one. Like you could say, well, if the defense stops them here, it's like, well, if the offense just gets going at the beginning, or if you want to say, hey, maybe if the refs just don't call that roughing the passer, we're talking about a different
I
game over
almost don't
here.
blame them though. I almost like don't. I don't blame the defensive unit. I know the
It's hard,
offense
man.
struggled. That's why I wanted to ask you from your perspective what you saw from the offense. Like I really want to know what you thought about the offense because
I think,
I yeah, because
I,
I don't think it's as bad. Again, I don't know what people are saying, but I just don't think it's as bad as it seems. Right? Like 17-0 sounds horrific. Like
yeah.
0 touchdowns in 8 consecutive quarters before that, and now you got another 2 quarters. Like you're just gonna keep putting up halves, like scoreless halves, bro. Like you can't stack up the scoreless halves. I get it. It looks terrible.
It's killing me, dude. Killing
It's just
me.
like
Killing
it's just
me.
like some small plays here and there.
Killing me.
Yeah,
killing.
I get you.
Absolutely. It's killing me, dude, because
You think
dude,
we're gonna? You
it's
think okay? So I brought it up before. I whispered Patriots, but we got your New England Patriots in 2 weeks.
how
Right?
dare
We
you?
got a
How
bye
dare you
week.
even say that? How dare you say that? Don't you dare call them my Patriots. Don't you dare do
we
that.
we have my favorite week, and it's never been more of a favorite of mine than this week, than this year. My favorite week, the bye week. Oh, it's literally I'm
Whew.
burning off my chest and my shoulder when the Jets have the bye because I can still enjoy football without feeling guilt or shame about the Jets. Anyway, do you think we're gonna come out, or do you think we're just the season's dead? Like you know what I'm trying to say? Are we
The
gonna come
season's
out
not
flat?
dead.
No, like are we gonna
The,
come out flat, or are we
no,
gonna come out
no, no.
first half Jets or second half Jets? How about let's put it like that.
I think we're still gonna get second half Jets throughout. The thing with the Jets is that this team's coming out with energy, right? They've come out with energy all 5 games. It's the offense is stalling, right? The offense is just not clicking, but everyone is like has the energy. Robert Saleh mentioned that today in the press conference. Like everyone's ready to go. Like no one is down on themselves. Like they just want to win, and it's frustrating when you're putting in the time and the effort and then you're not seeing translate to the field. And the big issue right now is the offense. The offense is legit. The engine is just that's holding us back. It is it's not complimentary football
Story
right now.
of our life, Alex.
I know it's been the story since. It's crazy how this has been the story since like 2015. Like ever since
No,
after 2015.
pretty much my whole life. Chad Pennington, the problem was him, not the defense. Literally,
Yeah,
my whole life as a Jets fan, like starting 30 years ago, okay, from when I was an infant, like it all comes from no offense. Like sometimes we have a running back, that's about it, and we
yeah.
can't play from behind. Why do you think the Miami Miracle is such a big thing? Because the Jets came back behind, nobody can believe it. Like it's
Oh man,
ridiculous, man. It's really crazy, and I just need to know if we're gonna continue this trajectory of
I think this is where
fixing
you hope.
things.
This is what you're hoping for. This is what you're hoping for. This is where it's going to be the optimistic, positive spin, right? It's a learning week. It's going to be a lot of ugly football. We don't expect anything to change overnight. I'm telling you that right now. Like if Zach Wilson can look on point a week before and then go back to being this Jekyll and Hyde, look, man, be
Did
ready
the
for
Cardinals
some
lose
ugly
today?
football.
Did the Cardinals lose today? Because
The
I really
Cardinals
want
won
Chandler
today.
Jones. Could I have Chandler Jones yet? Oh,
They won
okay. Did they cover? What was the
17-10.
score?
17-10.
Oh, they did cover. Oh,
Yeah.
good for them.
How about this though? Because I took my survivor pool, made it. Chose the Cowboys
Um,
today.
I took the Jets. Wait, the Cowboys beat the Giants.
44-20.
The game's over.
Yes, sir.
That's a Sunday night.
No, that wasn't Sunday night.
Oh, that's Bills Chiefs. This is a 4 o'clock. All right,
Yeah.
sorry. Life is hard. I don't know how people do this.
Yeah, no, it was so actually Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley were out for today's game, and so was Kenny Galladay.
Danny Jones didn't suit up.
He did. He got concussion. He was on the ground.
Okay.
No, and then Saquon hurt his ankle today.
Okay, cool. All right, sorry for the quick update. I was just curious because actually on the way to the game, A couple of English fans in Saints jerseys, specifically Reggie Bush and the Drew Brees.
Wow.
They
Reggie
started
Bush.
the golden Reggie Bush.
All right, so I want to hear this now. All right, guys, we're kind of done with the Jets at this point. We'll I guess there's nothing else to talk about this game. Like we covered it, but now we're gonna hear John's trip through London for a little bit. Gotta know what it's like to be amongst the Brits and having a football fan over, like a true American football fan over in London. So, John, what was it like, man? You're talking about Drew Brees and Reggie Bush jerseys, and a gold Reggie Bush jersey nonetheless.
Yeah,
That's a throwback to even here. Like, so what is it like over there, man?
yeah. So look, I'll just continue with that story. That was on the way there this morning, Tottenham, and we were on the platform for the tube, because if I say train, everyone's gonna freak out and go choo choo at me. We were on the platform for the tube, and a guy in the golden Reggie Bush jersey came up to me, started talking to me, probably because he heard me speak. He was just like talking, because like I'm in this, I'm an idiot in this in this Jet Santa hat. I got my Revis jersey on. I got green shoes. Like I'm ready to go, right? Like I don't look like I just picked up a shirt from the NFL store. So just talking to me, and once they find out I'm from New York, they get hyped, of course, because like they're like, "Oh my goodness, a real New York Jets fan in the flesh! Like you guys exist? Like why?" And then I'm like, "Oh, what soccer team do you root for?" And he's like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I get it. Yeah, exactly. So that was really cool because we ended up being like friends. And then I ended up going to, after the game, we met up at a towny bar in Tottenham where they have Red Zone, and I actually took a picture of it. And it's just a bunch of NFL fans just chilling, like just English people just chilling. It's nighttime, right? As you can imagine, it's like 7, 8 o'clock watching the 1 o'clock games. Everyone's in a different jersey, and they are into it. Like, not like screaming over fantasy like us, not like, oh, this guy needs to score for these points and this guy needs to score, I got 7.5 here. Like, it's so pure, man. They're just like sitting there in the
That
pub,
is interesting.
not the bar, in the pub, and they're just like, and they're all over it. Like the guy in the Justin Fields jersey, he hates the Packers. Like he was all over since the Bengals today, right? Like
Okay.
like everyone hates the Patriots. Like it's classic. Like they all have like the same, like there's a guy in Tim Tebow jersey. Like he doesn't want the Patriots to win. Like just like random stuff going on every team, and everyone likes someone random. But it's just really cool. Like for
You
example,
said Tebow
today we
jersey.
met Jets
That's
fans. Today we met Jets fans. Some guy in the Jamal Adams jersey. He has family. He has like his sister. It lives in Hoboken. So,
okay.
but he's like completely English, and he's like, yeah. So like I'm a Jets fan, and he was like so hyped, and we were like, he bought some beers. Like we're having some pints. We're having a good time. And then there's another guy, from his son moved to Seattle, so he's a Seahawks fan. We're all just like watching. It was really pure, and that's like one of the coolest things about this game. I kind of mentioned it, like the 60,000 Tottenham Stadium, $1 billion, like they're Jerry World. Everybody hates Tottenham, right? Like Tottenham and Arsenal, like the biggest rivalries. Tottenham stinks. They're a lot like the Jets, right? Like there's so much hope. Like one guy literally grabbed me, like by the shirt, by the neck. He's like, "How do you?" Like got right in my face, like, "How do you do it, man? How do you do it? How do you like this team so much that you like come to London for them? That you like write about them, talk about them, like they stink. Like how do you do it? Tell me. Like I'm a Tottenham fan. I'm like, I got you, man. Like we're all one. Like. So that was cool. Like otherwise, yeah, like everyone's like freaking out about like, oh my god, how the hell do you go to London for this game? Like we were touching on it. Like I had such a good time. Met up like one of my friends from Albany who I haven't seen in legit a decade. She's from Ireland now. She lives in England. She was we were like both working in the state assembly at the time, so that was cool. Tried Indian food for the first time. I liked it so much I got it twice.
So baffling to
Some
me, bro.
dishoom.
Dishoom is amazing.
Little dishoom. So that was
Love
cool, man.
Dishoom.
I walked all over the city and just honestly had conversations with people about football. Like went to the Jets bar, like just everywhere. We're just talking about. I told the guys today, the people that were sitting next to me at the game, like randos. One guy was a diehard Giants fan sitting next to me. Other two people, guy in his Tottenham fans, season ticket holders that were in Packers gear. They're just Packers fans. It's like it's so weird. The Green Bay, like the first of all, sorry to get a little bit sidetracked. They are so mesmerized by cheerleaders, Alex. They cannot believe that cheerleaders exist. It's like I went back to like the 1950s where like men like couldn't handle themselves. Like, oh my God, there's women here. Like some people were like, oh, like what are they doing? They're like, how does the NFL manage to have like women like dancing and like football sport at the same time? They like couldn't handle that juxtaposition. I thought it was hilarious. And then like the second part was like, how do people concentrate? We're like, because we're grown men, like we can handle ourselves like with girls dancing. Like it was just so funny to like be in this like weird world.
I'm not big into soccer, or as they would say over there, football. I'm guessing they don't have cheerleaders for
they don't,
soccer.
they don't.
Exactly.
Well,
So
they only have one. They made some not so polite jokes about one team that one time tried it, West Ham, and like didn't work out.
hooligans are, you see them
he was a West Ham fan. He was literally a West Ham fan. West Ham and the Giants. I don't know. You figure it out.
I don't know.
It was funny though.
No,
it was funny. It was a really good time. They knew a lot about the game, man. They weren't just like two dopes. That was really cool. That everybody like knew about football. Sometimes they'd ask genuine questions. Nobody's fighting. Here's something funny. I'm at the bus stop after all this, after food, after the game, after dinner. I'm looking at the bus stop sign. So some guy just comes to talk to me. I'm wearing a Santa hat. Like, I'm obviously not from here. The guy is talking to me. He's like, "Oh, come use this bus stop instead, and it'll be faster. The bus will actually stop for you, not drive by like that other one just did." I'm like, "Okay, perfect." So I go there and we're hanging out. He starts telling me how he's a big Arsenal fan. Like we're like on the block of Tottenham. Tottenham and Arsenal absolutely hate each other. So we start talking about the games. Alex, when Arsenal plays at Tottenham, they separate the fans. You never see a Tottenham fan if you're in an Arsenal jersey, and if you're in an Arsenal jersey, you never see a Tottenham fan. They have separate entrances. They have separate everything. I could not believe that.
That is so interesting.
Because they're wild. They're wild. They know they're wild. It's not like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they're doing that. Like everybody's like, yeah, because it's war. That's literally how they said it. It's violence. It's war. I'm like, all right, man. So what was cool is everyone is chilling. Like for this game, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's in different jersey, which they all hate each other, right? Like literally every other person like supports a different team and actually hates the next person on Saturday. You know what I mean? But everybody was like, wearing a different jersey. Everyone's just having fun, like drinking, hanging out, and they don't stop selling beer ever. Not at halftime, not in the fourth quarter, not even after the game. After the game is over, you could literally buy beer at the stand and stand there and hang out and just chill in the concourse. So it's a really interesting vibe, man. And when I was talking to some locals, they like the vibe because it's like chill, like a chill sporting event. They don't have that. You know what I mean? So for them, it's like, wow, we can just like go and like no one's gonna fight. No one's just gonna hang out. Like no fights in the stands. It's so
man. I would like to know what that's like, because I will never go to Foxborough to go watch a Jets game. That is never happening.
I was like, that's not what happens at MetLife, man. Like we know fights, but it's not as serious. I guess. Like we still sit with fans. Like we still sit with Patriots fans. Everything is okay.
No. They're wilding. They're wilding, saying that they'll get into like the fact that you have to separate because they'll just legit get into a war. That's wild. That is
see each other. He's like, we literally do not see each other because we would fight on
my mind is just
site.
blown like, even thinking about that.
They're children.
That's funny.
That's like two children in like junior high that can't act. Like you separate them, like give them different classes. So funny.
That's great. That sounds like
their perspective.
Sounds like you had a great time. And that it's like I still can't get over that they legit just do not see each other game day. I still can't get over that, because can you imagine Like, it doesn't get that bad. Like, we're rowdy. Like, we'll yell. Like, we can get into fights sometimes with other fans. Like, especially hockey fans can get into it. Like, I remember seeing that whole viral video of like the Boston Bruins fan, even though they were fighting their own Boston Bruins fans, which is like another concept that we're talking about. But
Bruin crime.
but like the fact that like you get, like, we still sit with like our opposing fans. This is why I always say the NBA has like the most tamest fans. Like, no one's getting to a fight. No one's.
That's very true. Wow.
You're not. Who are you yelling at an NBA game? Like, you tell me, who are you yelling at? Like, very rare does that happen.
Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, exactly. You're yelling at the player. You're yelling at the player and the refs. You're not yelling at the opposing foe. And I feel like
usually just make fun of them.
Yeah. See, like, this is
like,
this
or their player. Like, ha ha ha, you put in, Ennis Canner.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just like
game one.
At the end of the day, you walk out of the arena, especially for basketball, you're like, all right, man, see you later. Don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, there would be some chirping,
and then we saw.
Yeah, unless it's like playoffs and there's some chirping, but even still, that's like the max. Like, you're not getting a fight, you're getting some chirping. Sure, you like
Papa left chirps, bro.
Look, Papa left this chirp.
He goes to the plane and he chirps.
Yeah, he does. It's not as bad as what was it? What was it? I think it was like 2012, somewhere around that time, where you had, I remember it was a Giants Cowboys game, and it was at MetLife, and someone got tased. I do remember.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So it is calmed down a lot, because also there's like intense security getting into like one of these arenas too now. So like, you can't even have, like, if you're a woman, you can't have your purse, you got to have something to clear bag and all that type of stuff. Guys, like, they check you and all that type of stuff, but pat you down. So it's pretty serious, but I'm glad that you had a good time, John. Glad that you had a great time out in London, representing KJE very, very well out there. Got some awesome photos. Got to meet Michael Carter.
Shout out to Michael Carter and Alijah Vera-Tucker, man. They were really awesome. Like, I can't say enough about them. They're such real dudes. It's really cool.
That's awesome. Well, on that note, John, the only good thing I can say is that the New York Knicks won yesterday, their preseason game. So I guess that's something we can hang our hat on. But on that note, I think we can end here. Good conversation. Can't wait to have you back in the States. Travel safely, my man.
Look out for the bye week. We're gonna have a fun special guest on for the bye week, so that'll be good.
That is for sure.
You might not be around. I hear you might not be around.
May not, but that is I may not, but we got some awesome guests for both the Knicks and the Jets podcast this week. So, guys, stay tuned for that. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. You know what to do. Please make sure to give us a 5-star review if you listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, and leave a comment. That helps us out so greatly. On top of that, if you don't find us on Apple because you don't have Apple, it's okay. We're on Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it, we are there. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you know when you get new episodes.
So
on top of that, while you're there, guess what, guys? We got another podcast too. We got another podcast out, guys. That's on that channel, and that's also part of the Fansided Minute Media Network. Okay, we got
BetSided.
BetSided, the betting side of Fansided, sponsored. It's partnered with WinBet, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got John and we got our video producer Greg, who are hosting that. Winning Picks Weekly is the name of the podcast. You can find them on all audio platforms. You can also find them here on this YouTube channel, and you can get their takes. They're doing really well, especially with best bets. Pretty sure they're over 50% right now, which is great in the betting world. So make sure to check them out. But then last and certainly not least, guys, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we are there. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, etc. podcast. We'll catch you later this week.
Let's go Jets, I guess.
Yeah.